Hey, we are live. We're setting the mood right, Mr. Ralph. It's almost Christmas. I got good old Danny Elfman on the mic.
I forgot my scissors.
It's okay. There's literally only one pair of scissors in the office, so I couldn't tape them to my hands. So, that's a fail. Next time.
That would have been a hazard to the office.
I was telling Dave,
we should address that.
It would have been an OSHA violation. HR would have been on our butts. It would have been terrible.
Not good for anybody.
Indeed. What's up, Nico? What's up, Robert? What's up, John?
So
hello.
We have some people jumping on now, and as we do that, before we introduce our esteemed panel. Esteemed. What is the definition of esteemed, Chris? Is it just like
special, highly regarded?
Highly regarded. That's a good.
Yes.
That's a good.
Yeah. The creme de la creme.
The creme de la creme of panelists.
Yes.
Do we have anything housekeeping to address for anything? I don't think we do. I guess we don't.
Not really. I guess
we can announce. We can make announcements after.
Yeah, we want people are here for that.
People are here for one thing:
film critic analysis. So
they need to know. Hey, John.
Indeed.
They need to know what's going on. They need to know how I felt about Edward Scissorhands. Okay, so let's bring in our guys and gals. Hey, Brian. All right. First off, we have the wonderful, the talented, the amazing Marilyn. Hello, Marilyn.
Hello.
You gotta log her in, Ralph.
What?
She's not. There you go. Hey, there she is.
She's right here. Chris is on a delay.
Oh.
Okay.
We had to put Chris on a delay because he curses a lot.
So sorry.
He's on a 3-second delay.
This movie gets my blood boiling.
How is everybody?
Next we have the one and only Brian O'Halloran. Hello, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
What's up? We have an applause button. We need better sound effects, guys.
What's up?
Chris, don't you have a sound effects board?
I don't have a physical soundboard. I'm working on it. It's on my wish list. Santa, please give me a soundboard.
Let's bring in Krystle. What's up,
Krystle?
Hello. Krystle, we can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
I think she said S-H-I-T word.
Still can read lips.
She's on a delay as well.
No.
She's talking.
Oh, what happened to your mic?
I wonder if she has a mic. Well, listen.
She's not muted.
Your outfit is so cute. I love it.
I do like the outfit, Krystle, even though you cannot communicate with us. We love the outfit. Okay, guys. Did everybody do their homework?
I did.
We're still having
Did you watch the movie? You were supposed to, but if you didn't, I have a recap and a
Krystle, let me see if we can troubleshoot Krystle real quick. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
It says you're muted here. Oh wait.
Krystle, maybe unplug your mic, plug it back in, then refresh StreamYard, and then maybe that will work.
It might be if you go to the gear camera mic at the bottom, it may have moved if you have multiple mics, especially your cameras.
Oh yeah, if you have more than one mic,
you
have to choose it.
Mine did that before. And nobody seemed to care.
StreamYard seems to do that from time to time.
Yeah.
Especially if you go from Zoom to StreamYard to multiple platforms, it'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
The good thing is we're live. So.
We're live.
Krystle removed herself from the stream.
Okay, well,
so she's probably troubleshooting, but we can get started. Joe won't be joining us tonight. He had some family stuff because he's got a huge family. So he has some family stuff going on.
So he's also helping cook the meatballs.
He is. There's Chris.
Hey,
okay.
Can you hear
me? Yes.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. I stream on 3 platforms, so I'm always changing my settings, and it gets really confusing. Sorry.
Don't ever do it again.
I was wondering why y'all weren't talking to me back in like when we were backstage.
Joe our IT guy.
He has left the office. He is not here. We are on
She
our own.
figured it out. She didn't need Joe. She knew it.
That's
She's
right.
He's our IT guy, believe me. Somebody. That's our buddy from home. He's making jokes, making funny jokes today. All right, Chris, I'll let you take it away. I know you have a huge show planned. So
Yes. Okay, well, let's get it started. So again, everyone was supposed to watch the movie. If you didn't, don't worry. I have a synopsis, but there is going to be spoilers. So just as a disclaimer. So Edward Scissorhands was released in 1990, directed by Tim Burton, screenplay by the talented Caroline Thompson. It has an ensemble cast like Johnny Depp, Renora Ryder, Diane West, Anthony Michael Hall, Kathy Baker, Vincent Price, Alan Arkin. Music by the wonderful Danny Elfman. And as a recap of the plot, a scientist builds an animated human being, the gentle Edward. The scientist dies before he can finish assembling Edward, specifically giving him a pair of human hands. So this young man is left to grow up alone and ageless with literal scissors for hands. And a loving makeup saleswoman named Peg discovers Edwards and takes him home, where he falls in love with her daughter, Kim. And despite being kind and wanting to make friends and fit in society, he becomes a social outcast. And that is a very bare bones description of the plot.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah. So we're going to start our usual roundtable. So I think it's fitting, since we did a recap about the plot, to just get everyone's thoughts or a vibe check of what everyone thought about the plot. So how about, let's start with Krystle.
Okay, now that you can hear me.
We can.
I think the plot is really, it's a beautiful story. I think the story is really, really beautiful. I think that it holds up really well for being a 20-year-old film. So
30.
I
think this is a
30-year-old film. Okay, a 30-year-old
I hate
film.
to say that out loud.
Even more so. I love the ending as well. Like, some people think it's a really sad ending, which it is, but I love that we don't get like a storybook ending at the end. Mm-hmm. So overall, the entire story I think is really, really well written. And the fact that you've got Tim Burton's style of everything else just makes it 10 times better. Like, I think the color is great. It's very visually pleasing. So I love this film, and I've loved it since I was a kid. And rewatching it this week, I actually rewatched it like twice, and I wasn't tired of it back to back, which says something, I think, about a film. So
awesome.
I love it.
Very cool. Brian, how about you? What are your thoughts about the story?
Well, first of all, it's a loosely based remake of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, when you think about it, where instead of the Dr. Frankenstein, it's this inventor played by the late, great Vincent Price in, if not his last role ever in film.
Was it?
It was the last film, yeah.
Once again, his presence is still never, is still missed, but he every time he took screen, he was awesome. And it was great to see, this was, I would say, Tim Burton's second to third film of mass, of a mass distribution that was seen. And you could start seeing his style again coming through. I mean, it's funny to think that Tim Burton directed Pee-wee's Great Adventure, but then when you see snippets of different things that throughout his career, it's pretty cool. So if you're getting into Tim Burton for the first time, definitely watch his films from the order he makes them, because it's awesome. And he saw a fantastic musician in Danny Elfman to make his soundtrack yet again. His soundtracks are, this one I actually owned when the movie came out, so it's pretty good. It's weird to say that it's 30 years ago that this film got released, and it still holds up. It still holds up. I love it. It's got its odd violence in it, and his bizarre take on suburbia and suburban housewives. I think this was Desperate Housewives way before Desperate Housewives.
Yeah,
I think this probably started that genre, but it was kind of fun. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I like the scene where they
all the men are coming home from work.
Yeah, they're coming, and then they leave the houses at the same time to go golf. They all have their golf bags. Kind of fun.
Yeah. Great. Well, thank you, Brian. And Marilyn, how about you?
I think this is something that I think will hold up even 30 years from now. And I kind of forgot what the very beginning of the intro was. That was all black and white, and they show Vincent Price in there and everything. Like the one thing that hit me and that I had never really thought about before, it's like, even though it's a very 60s stylish kind of look, they really never mention what time period it's actually taking place.
Yeah, it's true.
Which I love.
Yeah, and I find it very amusing that Peg is driving a Charger, as she's going around trying to sell makeup.
Is she the only woman in the neighborhood that has a car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw anybody else with a car. No, wait a minute. No, there were
The
two other
hairstylist.
Oh, the hairstyle. Yes, that's right. And that lady that took him to the blade shopping shop.
Yeah.
Yes.
The heavyset woman. So I don't know. I find it. I mean, I didn't cry the way that I would have cried in the past with it, but it's still very heartwarming. I got myself to thinking how forgot his name.
Johnny Depp.
No, Anthony Michael Hall. How it's like such a like turnaround of a character that is usually known for. I just kind of went looking for little backstories on the whole thing itself, and just found a lot of nice little nuances. And Johnny Depp was not the first one to be considered for the role. There was
a lot of people. There was like
Tom Cruise,
Jim Carrey, Gary Oldman.
I don't know. Can you imagine this movie?
I don't know.
With Tom Cruise? I don't.
I could see it.
It's really funny. It's really funny how Tom Cruise like turned down the role, or how that thing fell apart because Tom Cruise was badgering Tim Burton about all these silly questions, like how does Edward go to the bathroom with Scissorhands? Like he just pelted Burton with so many questions, and then Cruise is like, this doesn't make sense, and then so he
that wasn't what I had in my mind.
I think it's a legitimate question.
I think those questions really deterred him, because I remember Burton in an interview talking about how he just he wasn't ideal for the role. So but I'm so happy. I think this movie, I don't know. We don't have it. We'll never see it. But I'm very glad that Johnny Depp got the role. I feel like it, I think it was great for him too, like especially with his life, because he was so tired of being like that teeny bopper, like that idol. And so what was he like really big on? 21 Jump Street?
21 Jump Street, yeah.
I've never seen
that. Long after that.
But yeah, I think it led him, I think it really turned his career for the better, personally.
I think this movie had a lot of firsts. I mean, it was the first time Burton and Elfman worked together, first time Burton and Depp worked together. And obviously Burton.
That was his. From what I gathered, I thought it was his fourth with Burton and
really?
Depp.
You might be right. Okay, someone, Marilyn, you're fact checking me. I believe you. You're very informed.
I might have read it wrong. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I mean, obviously, if it's not the first, it's obviously a very, very monumental piece of cinema and the relationship between the two, because Burton and Depp and Elfman, they just collaborated forever.
I don't remember.
Then Ryder worked with Burton previously on Beetlejuice, which is awesome. So
yeah, her getting this role was actually a joke.
Do you guys know what movie she turned down? I'm sure people know this for this role.
I do not.
I thought Brian would know this trivia. What role did she turn down to do this? Which I was kind of shocked about. Anyone?
I do not.
No.
Comment section. I'm waiting to see.
I'm excited to hear though.
Yeah, it was crazy because now you look at these two movies, and the other movie wasn't a flop by any means, but it never lived up to what it should have been. It was Godfather 3.
Oh wow. Okay.
I feel like she would have had a small
Smart
role,
move.
though.
She would have had a small role. Yeah, obviously she would. Yeah, she would have been
I
a star.
feel like
Totally dodged a bullet there, literally.
I mean, if it was Godfather 2, I'd be kicking myself. But this turned out to be between Godfather 3 and this, you would have thought Godfather 3 would have been the easy safe.
I don't know, because she had done movies before, so she knows Tim Burton can produce cool, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And when he cast her for this, he very specifically chose her to be like completely opposite of her Beetlejuice role, and they were kind of joking around about her in a cheerleading outfit. So that's why like you get like this weird scene. You don't really get much of it, but like just her in a cheerleading outfit. I think that was kind of a joke between the cast, and they decided to just kind of throw it in the film, which I love.
And in real life, Renora Ryder, she was never in real life, never like the cheerleader archetype in a personal life. She was the type of person to be bullied by those types of people. Like growing up, she was very much into punk. Like she listened to the Sex Pistols. She had a crew cut, and she was, much like Edward, much like Tim Burton, who Edward is like a self-insert. She was kind of like her in her own world, in her own. She had her own style, own flair. So her character of Kim was like very, very opposite of her actual personality, which I find like she did great as an actress. So I props to her and then the rest of the team that worked on this.
Plus, her and Johnny would never have had the love affair.
Right.
But
Right.
He would have chosen this over Godfather 3, and not because it was Godfather 3, but for myself, there was a point where when just around the time that I started acting, it's like Lion in Winter was something that I really, really wanted to do. And I had the opportunity to be in that, but I also had the opportunity to be in a different play where I was playing the lead. So I gave up my passion project for being the lead in another role. And so that was probably, that could have been, maybe, I doubt.
But also she had just gotten off of working with him on Beetlejuice. And you saw how huge that film was.
Yeah.
And this was going to be the third Godfather, not the first. So if it was me, I would have been like, ooh, this up and coming filmmaker Burton may have another huge, weird, kind of cool hit. Or we're going to do another Coppola project that's the same thing with killing and lobsters.
It is interesting because she also was playing this role where she didn't, she was playing like the cheerleader role, and that wasn't her. I guess that appealed to her in some ways because she wasn't that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I'm personally just really excited to get like almost like a lead role with Tim Burton again. Like I don't care what kind of role.
Here's the thing.
When it comes to you,
I would take both roles. I would take either role. FYI.
And then we did read, I think it was David Ross, that the first Tim Burton and Johnny Depp movie was Scissorhands. So because I was in my head, I was like, maybe. And if so, I was like, I need to go back and rewatch those.
What was their second one together?
Oh,
that's a trivia question.
That's the true trivia question.
I don't know. I can't think of their second movie.
David Ross, please look that up.
Yeah, look that up. Guys, get on this.
I feel bad for Johnny Depp, though. Like, Johnny Depp did so much for this role. Like, I think he lost 20 or 30
25 pounds. Yeah.
Okay, he lost a lot.
He wouldn't come out of the costume.
He was committed. Like,
he threw up on stage multiple times.
Heat exhaustion.
From heat exhaustion, and the scene where they like kept eating all the food. He got so like he didn't have enough room. I guess he wore that full suit underneath that other clothing the whole time, which is
and he refused cooling agents. He was like, "No, I'm going to suffer in the heat."
Ed Wood was
Ed Wood, yes.
Right. So then he went on to do Ed Wood, then Sleepy Hollow with him,
Sleepy Hollow.
then his version of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory,
right.
and then
They're like a million.
and then Sweeney Todd,
and
Never
then he
saw
did
that.
his version of Alice in Wonderland.
Never saw that.
And then I think that's when shit hit the fan and they stopped working together.
And now he works with Kevin Smith. Wasn't he in Tusk?
Yeah.
He was in Tusk. Yeah, he played Gila Point, the Canadian detective.
So bizarre. Aren't they like neighbors or something?
Yeah.
Their
Johnny
kids go
Depp
to school.
Rose is like went to high school or was like.
Are their daughters in the same band?
Their daughters they were in the same band.
Okay.
Their daughters went to the same high schools together. They both starred opposite each other in Kevin Smith film.
Yoga Hosers?
Yoga Hosers,
Yes.
correct.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's right. That one. I effing love that movie, by the way. I love that movie. It's like Clerks, but with his kids. It's awesome.
I never saw it. I gotta get on that.
We're gonna watch more Kevin Smith films.
Too many, so many movies to watch.
COVID.
Can we talk about this cast, because I haven't seen this movie since I was a kid, so I remembered it because it was one of those movies they would show on cable over and over, and then you would just watch it. You know, remember when you would just at the mercy of whatever they were showing on like HBO.
Yeah.
So I think I'd seen it a bunch of times when I was a kid, but I didn't remember that what Alan Arkin was in this was the dad. I had no clue.
Yep. Alan Arkin played Bill Boggs, Kim's father,
which was awesome.
It was awesome. I love. Winona Ryder was one of Burton's first picks, but the very first actress to sign on like 100% was the legendary Diane West as Peg Boggs.
Weiss.
Peg is awesome. Weiss. I'm sorry, Weiss. Diane was awesome. I love her, and like I feel like the only two films I've seen with her. I apologize. Is this film and The Birdcage, and those two are two excellent ones. So.
Wait, what do you mean? That's the only two films you've seen?
I don't remember like any other films.
What?
And Weiss has. I mean, it's not coming to mind, but Edward and The Birdcage are like.
You don't remember from what's the vampire movie?
Oh, Lost Boys. That's right. Thank you, Dave. And she's from the Lost Boys as well.
Lost Boys. She's great. The cast is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one thing I have to say, like. This was casted very well, and even like you said, Marilyn, Michael Anthony Hall. I totally forgot he was in this too. Just pulling like the 180, because the only time I saw him,
he was in like 16 Candles and all.
Yeah,
he was in Club.
I mean, it's like look-wise and character-wise is like a total 380. You know.
Okay, I was watching this for the first time in probably like 10 years, this week for this, and I kept staring at him, and I was like, "There's no way that's that dude." Like,
yeah. He was in Ryan, you remember what football movie?
I was like, what? And then I kept rewinding it. There was one part where, like, I think he's yelling at her in the backyard, and he's got his green shirt on, but his, like, titties are not, like, quite man titties yet, but they're not, like, you know what I'm talking about? They just, like pointy titties. I just kept, like, freeze framing, and I was like, this is weird.
His titties weren't man titties yet. Quoted from Chris.
We're gonna put that on social media.
His titties weren't man titties yet.
5 scissors out of 5 scissors. Krystle Starr.
Yes. Johnny Be Good. Edward, good call. Johnny Be Good was the movie I remember seeing him in. Do you guys remember this horrible movie, Johnny Be Good? He played the quarterback. And I remember going, how the hell is the dork from Breakfast Club the quarterback in this movie? But I totally forgot that he was in this as the bad guy.
That's where I saw that.
Yeah, and Johnny Be Good, his character's name was Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker.
Somebody writing a script was pretty lazy that night. What should I name the character? I'm going to name it Absolute. There we go.
Johnny Absolute.
Give me and he works at 7 and 7. Yeah. Secret 7 and 7. Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought the cast was very, very good.
It was very, very stacked, very talented. Like
FYI.
It was funny to see how young Johnny did look.
It was awesome.
It was weird.
But I gotta say,
he was
he
26 years old.
crushed it. He crushed it with all that dialogue he had. He had pages and pages.
Do you know how many?
Actually,
pages of dialogue.
Do you guys know how many words he spoke?
I just said
Krystle did drop it.
I'll say 37 words. Just for him.
What is it?
What that came to my mind is like, oh, wow, I would love to have a script like that where it's like it's not about the dialogue that I have to learn. It's about all the nuances, that the expressions and the emotions come through.
And the way that he strains his voice at certain times.
Brian's doing it perfectly.
I loved it. I think my favorite part of the entire movie, I have a couple, but one that really stands out for me is when he drinks the lemonade.
The lemonade scene.
And he's just like, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, I don't know. I love that when she offers him lemonade later and he just like throws up.
No one wants them. I'm like, one thing that I did read about is like that once he realized that he had the role is like he watched Charlie Chaplin movies to get all those kind of nuances.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there's so much visual acting going on here, and it's very nuanced.
You guys see this? Alan Arkin later played Winona Ryder's lover in
What?
The Private Lives of Pippa.
What?
That's creepy.
Wow.
Thank you, Chris, for that poll. Well, hey, there's
and apparently the Scissorhands themselves are incredibly heavy on each arm. Something along the lines of like 10 pounds to 12
They
pounds.
use real scissors for that?
They were really metal.
Some of them were real. It was designed by Stan Winston from like Terminator, Alien or Alien.
I was impressed with how he was able to like shave the dog like so perfectly with the scissors because they seem so bulky, and he really was able to get that number one. What you normally would get off of a razor, a clipper. As Marilyn,
you totally. It looks like to me though you could have used his skills with that self haircut. Obviously, you've given yourself.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks for ruining my day.
Was that what happened? Were you just kind of like, hey, if a guy with scissor hands could do it?
I was like, I can do it.
We should be able to do it.
Listen, did not vindicate Marilyn with this.
Oh, shit. I fucked up. Now I got to shave the whole thing.
That's basically what happened.
Shave, poochie.
Basically what happened.
Can we talk about the house designs and the furniture in the house and how everything was just... And Tim Burton does this with a lot of his films, but this one I just felt there was like a level of, and this may not be for you guys, but I felt almost like it gave me like a weird feeling in my body to see the houses so empty. I'm obviously I'm a hoarder, so like
back then those things were kind of on the simplistic side anyway, and it might have been the budget as well because it really wasn't a huge budget.
I was thinking that a lot because we've got the neighborhood. I know this was a real neighborhood, but were the houses already painted like this, or
no? They painted them.
They painted them. They chose a very specific color palette, like these.
I figured.
Yeah.
I believe I read it was a new development being built that they were able to get in there, do some paint, and then they would pay to paint it over, and then they finished building the houses in that development.
They got the pick. There was like four color palettes: seafoam green, flesh, butter,
yellow,
and
pearl,
dirty blue.
They're shot in Florida too, so they're perfect colors for Florida.
Now, I'm curious to know though if they did the interiors in those houses or if they were on studio sets. Because it's like in my mind as I'm watching this, and it's like they've got this little area of a corner of a room, and it's like there probably is nothing all around that.
There was Steadicam work running into the house and out at times, so you could see from inside the house out that the street was there, especially like when the cops were chasing him and stuff.
Was the castle there the whole time? It was funny how they kind of like they just live in this neighborhood and there happens to be this weird, creepy castle. It's hilarious.
Very Tim Burton.
So
It's very Tim Burton.
Also, how it's so gray, leading up to that, but then in the interior, it's all nice and green. And it's like, and my thought is like, where's he getting the ice from?
Me too.
Oh
Me
yeah,
too.
you never know where he got the ice from.
Me too.
Who knows a guy? Everyone knows a guy.
He knows a guy that brings the block. It's gotta be expensive.
Yeah.
All that ice.
Mm-hmm. Especially enough ice to make it snow. What, like 6 inches? In a place.
No, man.
A human with scissors and knives for hands. You're cool with letting go by. But where's he getting the ice from? This is unrealistic.
Brian. Here's another question. Why did he?
It's not just that either. It's like, because my mind goes into logic mode whenever I'm watching anything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but I at a certain point, I'm like, let it go, Marilyn. It's just
Tim Burton.
So wait, David Ross said if you Google the area, you can see the street and turn around where the castle was, positioned. So like, was there an actual hill there? I just assumed there was nothing there, and they just like put that in.
I think they just like probably digitally painted it in. Like,
that's what I would.
Yeah, conceptually speaking, the neighborhood, while it was filmed in Tampa Bay, Florida, it was based on like the Burbank, California neighborhoods Burton grew up on, and like the giant mansion on top of a hill. It was modeled after like the campus of I think Cal Arts. It's like the same alma mater he went to. So he took those design elements, but I figured it was. I mean,
it's like near where I live, and if you know Burbank, and you see the hills in the distance, right there. So,
unlike when you watch the classic Jackie Chan movie Rumble in the Bronx, where they're fighting in the Bronx in New York City, and then in the distance are the wonderful mountains that were always just out of my view. In the Bronx. Spoiler alert, they filmed it in Vancouver. And there's no mountain range in the Bronx.
Are you sure, Brian?
I'm positive. I lived there for 10 years.
All right. I guess I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. But I remember watching and going like, what the hell? Mountain range is in the Bronx.
Krystle, so I'm curious to hear your thoughts. What did you think about the mansion itself and like the inside of the mansion? Like I have on my green screen, I have his studio. Any thoughts about that? Like my favorite piece of trivia in the foyer, there's that statue that looks like the Oogie Boogie Man from Nightmare Before Christmas. So that was
what?
Yeah. It's
like I remember a little bit. Yeah. And I thought he was gonna come to life at one point when she first entered.
Mm-hmm.
So no, the hill was just an empty field when filming. That's what I would assume, David. So I like the house. It was, again, it just felt like too empty, but I kind of like that. The second time I was watching it, like I kind of like the emptiness because it makes you feel more like a dream state. Like when you dream, you have like the main picture and everything else just kind of gets filled in. And I feel like Burton does a really good job with all of his films with that. Like you have the big picture, that's the important storytelling, and then everything else just kind of is fluff. And I felt really strongly with the house as well.
Mm-hmm. I think there's a piece of set design that is actually like contributing to your perspective of why it feels so empty. Burton and the set team, they deliberately made the window opening smaller. So that might mess with your perspective of scale and space. So the window's a lot smaller than the room is actually dimensioned. So that was a cool piece of trivia I found out.
It's funny because the sculpture that you guys said looked like the Boogeyman, I thought it was kind of like a Easter egg throwback to his last film prior to that, Beetlejuice, where the wife was a sculptor and the sculptures came alive and stuff like that. Because I thought maybe like, oh, is that what he did with the body of Vincent Price? He just wrapped it in the sculpture and it's really Vincent Price's body in there. That's where I went.
Very, very buckets of blood. You just pour a bunch of clay over his body. Yeah.
And it's funny because it's like the one thing that I did think about is they never addressed what happens afterward once his father, Vincent Price, passes away. You know, it's like that. Did somebody come and take his body away? What did he do with the body? Like, you know, that was that addressed?
No,
that really wasn't.
The edited scenes that he dug. They show him digging the hole with his scissors but they cut it out.
Oh, see, I was
I made that up. I made
that makes so much sense though.
he's buried.
That's what he did under Scissorhands.
He's buried under the hand. He's buried under the topiary. Hand.
Yes.
Like the Carrie reference. Is that Carrie? Where they what movie is where they grab out of the
Killer.
Well, that's Chiller. It's not really a
Oh.
movie. It's like it's just that intro for Chiller.
Okay.
Or Adam's Family, if you're a friend of the.
I do wonder why he does it. It doesn't like he gives him scissors for hands, but he's going to give him real hands. Why did he put?
Why did he put it up?
Why scissors?
Because if you looked at that part, he had all of the machines that were like doing something.
Right.
So he kind of built Edward out of these machines. So I'm sure he was still working for him while he was figuring out how to make those really cheap plastic hands.
Okay, I can buy into that logic.
I love the hair though. The hair on this film, although I will say I found it a little weird that at the very end of the film, it was Carrie. Okay, I thought so. When they're chasing him and trying, and it's been, a few months since everyone's kind of shunned him, and a few months since they don't want to go to the Christmas party. They've definitely turned away from the family. Yet a lot of the women still have these ridiculous, crazy characters. And to me, I just thought that was odd because I would expect only the mom to have oh my God, her hair at the end was so bad. Where it was completely chopped off. It's almost looks like Ralph's.
Oh no.
Not funny.
But I thought it was weird that why would they keep those hair the funky hairstyles?
Right. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Did the movie actually take course over the course of months, or did it happen all in the span of a week? It did a year, really? Really?
It was Christmas when it started, and then
was it?
I feel like it was.
But that was a flashback, though.
That's true. But it
definitely had a barbecue. They definitely went through summer at some point.
Yeah.
Well, the barbecue was thrown because they stronged arm. Peg.
But I mean, you would think
I would say it's probably a summer to winter.
Right.
Possibly. Yeah. It was definitely months.
Okay.
For sure, because you had they ostracized him, and then they, months went by before the Christmas party, and
David,
they had.
Yes. Making fun of my hair. Thank you. I'm on my own conversation with people here.
I don't know. I just found it weird because at the very end you saw at least, I think most of the women kept their hair.
Yeah.
They did. In my mind, I'm like, okay, you have months.
If Jose Obear came to your house, did your hair, and then you found out 4 weeks later he killed someone in a DUI, are you going to go out and change your hair because, oh my God, Jose Obear did my hair, then killed? By the way, that he never, I'm just hypothetical, Jose. Just want to say, you know what I'm saying? That the ladies loved the look and they didn't want to change it.
Yeah.
The weird thing was this doesn't at all feel like a Christmas movie, obviously.
No, I mean it's slightly, but not
because it was Christmas. I knew there was
adjacent.
Wait a minute. Now you're getting into Die Hard argument.
Die Hard is a movie.
That's an action movie that happens at Christmas time. It's not a Christmas movie. Come on.
I would dispute that, but that's
listen. Unless he's killing the wise men, a manger's involved. There's animals. They have to do something from a star. Not a Christmas movie. It happened during Christmas time. Now, because that's going to be relative to this. Then it's because if you're going to say this is not a Christmas movie, then Die Hard isn't.
Very true. Wow. No, now the one other
trying to keep the same playing field.
The one other thing that I felt was thought-provoking is as she's telling the story, and at the end when she's telling daughter or granddaughter about Edward. And that he's probably still up there, you know, creating his little sculptures and stuff like that. So he doesn't age, but she did. So what is he actually, you know, what is he made of?
He's a Terminator. He has a metal endoskeleton, living tissue around him because he bleeds. So yeah, he's a Terminator.
Listen, he might be a machine. He might be a machine with skin on it.
Part man. He is.
Remember, he was giving him hands with skin like flesh.
Cyborg.
Yeah, in the beginning, they were flipping through Vincent Price's diagrams, and they took like a shell, like a skeleton of one of his actual machines, and they built like a heart system and like skin and clothing. So you could say he's like an artificial man or a homunculus or cyborg. But
Robert says this is why Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Yes, Robert.
I agree with Robert's assessment.
That's right, and I agree that this is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I would say this could qualify.
I'm not saying it's not because I picked it for the Christmas thing, but I'm just saying it doesn't necessarily.
Gremlins would have been better. Just saying.
Krystle, I swear to God,
the shade. One
more time. Krystle texted me last night about Gremlins.
I love Gremlins.
Next year, maybe we'll do Gremlins.
Okay, we're gonna meet tomorrow. We're gonna watch and review Gremlins tomorrow. So.
I just feel like it didn't necessarily feel as Christmassy as I remembered it.
There are Christmas elements, but more than anything, this movie is, you know, like an updated fairy tale or modern retelling of a fairy tale, or the Frankenstein myth, or you know, there's elements of Beauty and the Beast and some other universal monsters. But like the fairy tale element really comes in with like the prologue and the epilogue. Like it's like this is how a certain phenomena came about, and the story that Kim tells it's and through the execution of Tim Burton and his imagination is very fantastical, very vivid, very dreamlike. At the same time, there's also like a morality tale. There's a bunch of different messages, a bunch of prominent themes.
What do you think is the biggest message from this film? What is the biggest message from this film?
Well, I know that I found it interesting. There was a fact we had about Tim Burton felt as like an outcast when he was growing up, and he drew this sort of it's based off his own artwork because he felt So like his inability to like get close to people, to connect with people. And everything he touched kind of went to shit, I guess, is what he was trying to say. So I guess that's in there somewhere.
Like he just felt lonely.
He felt outcast.
He wasn't worth people reaching out to him.
They should have though absolutely had at least the song "Pieces of You" by The Cure, because he looked like Robert from The Cure. There,
he did.
The hairstyle, the leather.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
That is exactly the theme. Yeah, totally get it.
Yeah. I think that's the overall theme to it. Mm-hmm. And even a freak could get the cute girl.
But he doesn't, though. I mean, in a way.
Here's what bothered me is she never visited him for that long. She never even visited him. Brought him some cookies.
Yeah, yes and no. I won't elaborate, but like there's other material you can look up where it's implied that she does visit him later in life. But in terms of the source material, she mentioned she never saw him like again to preserve that image of her in her youth. But obviously at the end,
it would have kept him from harm's way though as well, because
it'd be funny if she showed up.
Everybody knew he was dead.
If she showed up when she's that old and he was
I would love that. I would
listen.
love to see his reaction.
You're talking about a girl who grew up in a neighborhood where they literally walk away from a young man who's been stabbed and thrown out of a top floor of a castle, and they just go, "Oh well." And the woman who was the hairstylist, Peg or Joyce rather, she had the time to light a second cigarette on the walk up to the castle because the thing was this long when she was sitting there going like, "Okay, let's go. I gotta go."
Well, he was an asshole. In fairness, that guy was an asshole.
Yeah, but the father was a big business guy in the town.
I know.
They
They
would've
just
been like,
left his body there.
oh,
Like,
sorry, folks, the audience out there. Spoiler alert.
Spoilers.
Hey,
Yeah.
you're supposed to watch it before the discussion.
But yeah, when I'm watching, I'm saying to Diana, my girlfriend, I'm saying, look at this town. These are awful people.
They are.
yeah.
Yeah.
For
Everyone's awful, except for like Kim's family. Everyone is awful. Like,
Even her family.
the father is. I love Alan Arkin because he played that aloof, like absent, like he was just like kind of there, but kind of wasn't half. Like even in the
diner.
Which one?
When they're in the diner scene and he's explaining when Joyce tried to
get naked.
Get naked in front of him.
Oh,
and he's explaining the whole thing at the diner, and father's like, and another thing, are you gonna get a job?
We gotta go to the bank.
He's like, yeah, she tried to have sex with me. So here's what I'm thinking. And then the others, when he's in the backyard and what's his name's chasing him away, and he's like yelling at him, calling him a freak.
Oh,
he's putting up the lights on the roof, and he doesn't really notice.
Rob said he was very Christopher Walken. I'm so glad you said that too, because I actually had to Google it. Because at times I was like, he looked like Christopher Walken. I was like, but it's not Christopher Walken. And so I had to it really messed with me because I literally for like a few seconds was like, is that Christopher Walken with like weird makeup? Like
Christopher Sleepy Hollow as the headless horseman.
The delivery is what it really kicks off. Who is Christopher Walken?
And right after this, I watched Batman Returns because Christmas movies.
Yes.
Yes. Dude, Christopher Walken is like weirdly attractive in that movie.
As Max Shrek.
He's a handsome man. What are you talking about? Weirdly
He was handsome in his day. Remember Deer Hunter? Come on.
No.
No.
Good movie. You want to see an attractive Christopher Walken? You watch him in Deer Hunter.
You watch Deer Hunter. You watched Deer Hunter. You watched a little bit.
It's a good date movie. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Good snuggling up kind of movie.
We like it a little bit.
Right here. Little fluffy one.
We went off the rails. Sorry, Chris. I don't know what's happening. How many times did you guys watch this?
Oh wait, Krystle, you had something on your mind?
I do want to say something. So I actually got to see some of these sculptures when I was like, I want to say I was like 8 or 9 years old in New York. So there's a restaurant called Tavern on the Green. It's a super fancy schmancy. I think they closed it down a few years.
They did.
Yeah.
So I got to eat there with my family, and I don't remember like the sculptures per se. But I remember
the lawn sculpture, the ice sculptures, or both.
The grass sculptures, like the bushes.
The topiaries.
Yeah, because none of that was real. It was all fake. And I was just reading like fun facts about this movie afterwards, and I just remember going to Tavern on the Green when I was a kid, and I remember like it had these windows, like this really awesome like rounded area, and outside the windows were all these really cool Tim Burton like these sculptures, and I had no idea that was from this film. So I thought that was really cool that I got to. I don't remember it very well, but I got to see it apparently when I was like really young. So I thought that was really badass. I have no idea what happened to the sculptures after Tavern on the Green shut down. But yeah.
Whoa.
It was Ghostbusters. Yes, it was.
That's awesome.
How many times did you guys see this movie, do you think? I can't.
Like in my lifetime?
Yeah, in your life. I'm guessing. I have seen it like probably like 10 times.
I've seen it like probably 4 times or so.
That's what I'm thinking, about 3 or 4 myself.
I would say 3 or 4, but it's weird because like much like Ralph, I only ever seen this movie prior to last night, like on TV reruns. So I feel like I've missed a lot. Well, I also felt like the cable version cut out parts because I clearly didn't remember the lemonade scene or the Joyce trying to seduce Edward scene. Like I do not remember that at all. So
I remember that.
Yeah.
It's not on my top 5 list of Burton films, that's for sure.
No,
there's 5 better Tim Burton films than this.
Is Beetlejuice in your top
That's just
5?
me.
Beetlejuice might be my number 1.
Beetlejuice is definitely my top 5, but I love Coraline too.
Oh, Coraline.
I have to confess something. I never saw Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, but
That's why you didn't pick it
that's
then.
classic though.
Is it that?
I did
Also,
not
yeah.
also
also,
in its entirety.
and Tim Burton didn't direct that, just so you know.
He
He
did.
just
produced it. He produced it, right?
Oh.
Mhm.
Well, then that
That's
one.
a damn shame, Ralph.
I'll watch it. I was going to watch it before actually this month.
I don't like. I think I've only seen it in pieces. I don't think I've sat down to watch the whole thing of Nightmare Before.
I will be watching it.
I watch Nightmare Before Christmas at least twice a year for Halloween and for Christmas.
I have a friend of mine whose kids, they literally take their Christmas tree and right down the middle, half is Christmas decorations and the other half is Halloween decorations.
That's very cool.
Yes.
That's how huge of fans they are of that movie.
Excellent.
Yeah. The movie.
I want to put a pin in it. We have Sun in the backstage. Should we bring her on to get her thoughts on?
Yes.
All right, Sun in 3, 2, 1. Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I love your cover. I saw the sneak peek what they posted.
Oh, good. I'm glad you
Show
like
us your
it.
copy.
Gorgeous.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. This is
How
Bruce.
old is she?
Bruce.
He's number 1.
Who's one?
Yeah. He wanted to come say Merry Christmas to everybody.
Oh,
Oh,
my
puppy.
God.
Merry Christmas, Bruce.
Chomsky?
Named after Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah. No, Bruce
He's
Wayne.
Yeah,
There you go.
yes.
Yeah.
On brand.
Wrong Bruce. Whatever. I took a shot, people.
Acceptable answers would have been Bruce Campbell, Bruce Lee. So Bruce Wayne, that's still in top number 1 answer on the board.
Cool.
Uh,
No, I gotta get the puppy now.
Oh my God.
I gotta get my puppy.
Yeah, we just took little pictures. So here's his little Santa
it's
hat.
Stanley. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my God.
Hell yeah.
So cute.
All right. So we're gonna put you in the hot seat. What did you think about Edward Scissorhands? Was it your first time, your 20th time? And who was your favorite character?
Oh, definitely my 20th time. I love that movie so much. I think I just like grew up watching it. I was kind of thought Edward was. I just related to him a lot, I guess, just being kind of like the weird goth kid in like a preppy school, you know. Obviously, Tim takes it to like the extreme, but yeah, I love. I definitely love Edward's character, but I also love the mom. Like she's so sweet and so accepting. There's just not that many people out there like that, right?
Yeah.
That are just not judgmental and just open to, you know, people might look strange and that doesn't mean that they're a bad person, right? So
Yeah, we need more pegs in the world. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Even though she does break and enter his house. I forgot.
No, she not.
yeah, she pretty much, yeah, I
You
know.
know, she just went on in like, hey, fuck it.
She has the hustle. She has the sale hustle.
That definitely walking into a dusty, abandoned castle. The first thing I'm thinking is that person needs skincare.
Yeah.
That's funny. What was okay? So real quick, we're going to open this. We have a little time before we unveil the cover of the month by Sun. Everybody, what do you have here, Chris? You have a few.
I have a couple of questions for the audience. So I can audience. So all of us will give our answers. But while we're giving that, I want everyone to post in the comments so we can share your experiences. So first off, audience, what is your favorite scene? And then as those comments are coming in, let's start with Sun. What's your favorite scene in the movie?
There's a few, but I think my favorite would be like at the happiest point, like when he's finally accepted by the community and he starts doing these like avant-garde haircuts. I think that would probably be my favorite scene because like the rest of the movie is kind of sad.
Yeah,
So,
it goes dark really quickly.
yeah.
I have a question, follow-up question. What did you think of who's her actress? Oh, Joyce, who's played by Kathy Baker, like the very, very centralized salon scene. it's so over the top and so erotic and so funny. Like, what do you think of that scene?
Oh man, it's like secondhand embarrassment. I just felt so embarrassed the entire time. I hate that scene. Not my favorite.
The cookie making machine.
Yeah.
Cookie making machine.
Yeah. Oh, this was my favorite. The waterbed.
Yes.
This is the one I laughed out loud at. So yeah, when he's like she startles him and he scares her. Freaking hilarious.
Yeah, Eddie Hernandez saying the ice dance scene, classic. Actually, we haven't had a chance to use this before, but let's see if this works. I have a GIF. Oh, there she is.
Yay!
Yay. Very cool. Let's see. Rod Chinqui said, yeah, when he runs down the lane at the hair shop. The lemonade scene, that was pretty great. Krystle, how about you? What was your favorite scene?
So I love the lemonade scene. It's hilarious for me. But I also really loved the scene where Winona Ryder's at home watching him on TV and they asked if he had a girlfriend, and that moment where she kind of realizes that it really is her that he's liking. I love that quite a bit. Just because like you can feel that like excitement like in your stomach for her, I guess. And I just thought that was really sweet and romantic. And I get those same feelings when she's dancing in the snow. So I love a lot of the scenes. And again, the whole movie is just really like aesthetically pleasing for me.
Yeah. Brian, how about you?
I like the fact that when Edward is confronted by the police, even with weapons in his hands, they didn't shoot and kill him on sight. That's a happy scene there.
Right.
The fact that then that cop of color then decides to let him go and get back to the castle, shoot some rounds in the air to say, hey, folks, it's over. Once again, another thing the town didn't care about is, oh, you killed him. That's cool. Fine.
Yeah.
And then the Danny Elfman soundtrack, every time I heard it, I love that soundtrack.
It's very good. Marilyn, how about you?
For me, it's there's several, but a lot of the moments where Peg was with Edward when she was doing his makeup, and they would just really have some honest conversation back and forth, and she's like getting to know him, and he's asking questions, and I think that it's just very intimate moments that they're having with each other.
Yeah. Ralph, you?
Well, I mentioned. I think my favorite's the waterbed scene.
Yeah.
I agree. I think both times with the waterbed. The first time he kind of pokes it in the water.
It puts the plushie on top of it.
He puts the plushie over it, and he's just like, all right.
And it solved it.
That'll solve it.
Yeah. It solved it.
Apparently it solved it.
That was hilarious. There's so many. It's a great movie. I really enjoyed it. It made me happy because I forgot how good it was.
Yeah. Again, I agree with Ralph. The waterbed scene's great. Like all like the family scenes with I love like the dinner scene where he's like trying to like pick up the carrot and he's draping the napkin over his scissor hands, or the little brother taking him to show and tell, and he's like, "There's blades that can kill you," and then he starts snipping like a cutout. So
yeah, that was a great scene too, Chris. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Krystle.
Did any of you have a waterbed growing up, or any time in your life?
No, but my friend's parents did.
Yes, same thing. I had a
friend. Every friend's parents had a waterbed.
It was a thing in the 70s.
It really was a big thing. Then.
It was like the Tempur-Pedic of the 70s.
And you were so like, wow, this is fucking amazing.
This is crazy.
This is cool, man.
God forbid you had to get up and pee in the middle of the night, and you had to totally woke up the person next to you because it was like, "What are you doing? I gotta pee because I'm on a waterbed all night."
Well, I'm still
I gotta pee again.
Chris, one more. Do you have one more before we were running?
Yeah, I have one more.
One more audience question, and then we'll show Sun's cover.
Yeah. So this is So let's go with this one. What is your audience and everyone here? What is your favorite quote from the movie?
Oh, that I'm not going to remember at all.
Quotes?
Quote.
Yeah, I can't remember a quote. Shit. Quote.
If this is too hard, I do have a backup.
You picked a doozy.
Okay, I have a backup question. Okay, actually, this one actually spins off from the favorite scene question. Let's do it. Let's go with this one instead. What scene did you find most ridiculous? So it could be the waterbed scene for Ralph. It could be something else. Let's see what the comment section says.
I think the most ridiculous is when you're watching the cookies. All I saw was like, the machine didn't work at all.
Yeah, it was really poor.
I was like, there's no way in bloody hell you're gonna get cookies out of that. And then it like cuts to a close up where someone's like clearly like stamping them, and I'm like,
He's not fixing the bowl. It's like you plop one egg in there, and all of a sudden you have all this dough.
Rick still has a waterbed, by the way.
Yeah. No.
Ridiculous scene.
The sunken in living room of the rich man's house that they broke into.
Oh yeah.
I was like, that's the most ridiculously decorated, weirdly set out room.
Yeah. It was weird.
It was like a leftover scene set piece from like a Clockwork Orange.
I think the fact that I did a couple times laugh at the concept that he was getting these. We touched on it. The ice. How did he get so much goddamn ice, and where is he getting the ice from?
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's just logic. Why would we bring that? This is a fantastical movie. You shouldn't be.
Now, obviously, they made those sculptures out of clear plastic for the film set.
Oh.
Is that plastic sculpture angel of hers somewhere in the world?
That would be cool.
I'm sure it is.
I said that to Diane when watching. Like, I wonder who has that plastic sculpture. That's probably somewhere. Maybe Tim Burton's like backyard in his giant English mansion.
So many things. Nia says back room and
that scene was so much like the other scene with Joyce. Like that scene was just like, I don't know what's going on. I don't remember the scene. What's happening? Stranger danger.
She was like an oversexed Peg Bundy.
It really was.
Like even more so than Peg Bundy.
Super horny for a guy with scissor hands.
Yeah.
Why was the blood so fake? Like, why did the blood have to look like just red paint? It was like caricatured blood.
Yeah, I think
all the color schemes in this entire film were of basic, palettes.
Yeah, I think that was part of the. I also read there was something in our facts, Chris, that said that it was the reason it looked the way it did was everything was supposed to be through his perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's interesting. But yeah,
although, so that's a good point because like Tim Burton clearly liked that blood color. All of Sweeney Todd, it was like exact same color of blood.
We had all these uploaded images, guys, and we didn't use them.
Oh, there's Joyce.
Oh, this is what I saw about. Damn it, I forgot about this.
Oh,
so
yeah,
if that's in your neighborhood, that's not weird at all, right?
I would hang out in there. I would hang out there all the time.
It's very Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Devil's Tower looking.
It was, yeah.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So, do we want to do?
Well, real quick before we do the rating, I just looked up some quotes, and out of the quotes that I read, I think the most memorable, or like the one that like really like best one for the movie that for me is when Edward says, "I'm not finished." I feel like that's such a beautiful. Out of his 169 words, I feel like those were really, really nice.
So much so that when you went to Instagram and put in Edward Scissorhands, that's only one of like 3 GIFs that came up was that him going, "I'm not finished."
Totally, yeah, I saw that one too.
Krystle, thanks for providing that quote. Eddie has a quote they'd like to submit. Forget about holding her hand, man. Think about the damage you could do to other places.
Oh, yeah, they're getting drunk in the van, the shaggin' wagon.
That's right.
Yeah, she's like,
that was the ridiculous when they're going. He's like, "Don't make me drive, man," and he's like, "Just bring her to the house." And the
guy's like, "God, maybe you deserve to be dumb."
He's driving like as if not even that he's drunk, that he's never driven a car before in his life.
Those monster wheels on that truck.
That was ridiculous.
You know what? The whole reason why they wanted to break into his father's own house and steal it. It was like to buy enough money or get enough money to buy his own van.
To have his own van, yeah.
The good thing, Truck, you're right. Nobody confused this for Edward Penis Hands, and I'm glad that we didn't watch the wrong movie. Thank you, Truck.
Ralph told me about that.
What?
Were you the one who told me about Edward Penis Hands?
No.
It's a real
Brian.
It's a real porno.
I never mentioned that.
Real porno. I think it's one of the videos that Randall suggests in the original Clerks. I think that's one of the ones he calls in.
Is it? That's funny. I thought he might. Well, no, he's watching. Oh, whatever. We won't get to that.
One last thing, Christopher, I completely agree. I mean, for me, if I lived in that neighborhood, I would just go there every single chance I could get.
Well, Chris,
well, that's where you were going to drink beers. You don't need a van when you have an abandoned castle. At the
exactly.
Yeah.
Cool.
So okay.
I think we're about. I think people have been waiting.
Let's get some ratings. Chris, are you keeping ratings?
Yeah, I have.
You better not be lying to me, because at the end of the year,
I have the notes from last show.
Don't make me go Tom Cruise on you.
Okay. Wear my mask, bro.
All right. Who wants to begin? Who wants to rate their movie first?
This is out of 5 scissors.
Out of 5 scissors.
Yeah.
5 scissors.
Rob give it a 4 out of 5 scissors.
Okay. Marilyn, let's start with you, since you're right next to me.
So I'm in a quandary, because it's like I'd like to give it 5, but it's not like
a 5 is a perfect film.
I know, I know, and that's the thing. It's like, there are films that I consider as like, oh my god, that's like the ultimate. So I'm gonna have to maybe go with like a 4.5.
That's pretty good. That's probably one of the highest.
It's not a perfect film. You're right. It's not perfect. So
it's not. I mean, who makes perfect films are hard to come
well,
on.
I mean, but perfect for you. It's like, where you're sitting down and you're thinking, it's like, oh my god, I love this movie.
Hey, if you want to give it a 5, you give it a 5.
I like this movie a lot, but it's like if I had to sit down and have and watch a movie, that I really want to watch, it's like, it probably won't be this.
Right. So yeah, sounds like you're giving more of a 4 than a 4.5.
I don't know, 4.5.
Okay.
Krystle.
I was gonna give it like a hard 5, but you're right. It's not like a perfect movie.
Don't let me sway you.
What?
Don't let me sway your answer. You go with your heart.
Fuck it. I'm gonna go with the 5. It's a 30-year-old movie that's like
That's our first 5, guys.
That is our first 5.
2.5 times this week alone. Like, I did not have to do that, but I just let it keep playing because I love the soundtrack. The color
of the soundtrack.
When I walked by, I was like never irritated that it was on. Like,
okay, 5 scissor rating. You heard it.
5.
It's our first 5, guys.
It is our first 5. That's a milestone. Thank you, Crystal.
Brian, you have a scissor count.
Well, I've mentioned before that this isn't really even in my top 5 of Tim Burton films. So this would be a low 4, like a high 3 3/4, low 4. Any Danny Elfman soundtrack gets a 5 for me every day. I don't care what movie it's with. It's Danny Elfman. Everything's great. Whatever he does, I love. But it is something that if it's on, it's on. But if you were like, hey, let's watch a Tim Burton film, I wouldn't be like, Edward Scissorhands. No, I'd be doing other stuff.
But the 4 is still excellent.
Sorry?
4 is an excellent score, I think.
Yeah, I think 4 is still incredibly impressive. 4 gets you paid every day.
Yeah, so far, like the average curve of all these ratings, it's dwarfing our past 2 films. So, like, Edward Scissorhands is in the lead.
Well, first of all, it's not 2 hours long like the very first film.
Creep Show was like 4 hours long. I'm never gonna can't get over that guy.
The only thing this was missing was Adrienne Barbeau. That's why it had to lose. No Adrienne Barbeau. They should. So sorry.
That would have brought it to a 5 scissor. Sun, do you want to go next? How many scissors?
How many? It's a 5 for me. I love scissors.
So 2 5.
It has a really nice message.
Yeah.
Has romance. It has thriller. It has fear. It just has it all. And I love the message of like not, treating everybody with love and like just not judging people for their appearances. I love it. I think it's a very, very nice movie.
We're never going to have to put on Nightmare Before Christmas because then we're going to have to open this up to 10.
I know. I have to watch this Nightmare Before.
You got to say Nightmare Before Christmas is better than this.
You got to finish it. You got to watch it too.
Chris, I hope you're writing all this down diligently.
Yes, I have it right here.
Are going into our, I don't know what, into the vault.
I like to use the word annals. It goes into annals.
Scores are going to the annals of Zenescope.
That's hilarious.
The annals of Zenescope. What? What's so funny? Okay, so.
Wait, Ralph, what's your rating?
Listen to me. My rating is the final answer. All that matters. I too will give this a 4 out of 5.
Oh my God.
I cannot give a perfect score. It would take a miracle to get a perfect score. There's very few movies, but
I hand out those a lot.
It is an excellent Tim Burton movie. I don't necessarily agree with Brian because I don't think it's out of the top 5. But maybe I'm wrong. I have to rewatch some Tim Burton films, but I give it a 4. I think it was great.
Okay, cool. Again, the curve is skewing very high compared to other films. So for me, I will give it a 4.5. Much like everyone else was saying,
Sorry, movie, Godfather 3 gets 5. It gets 5 calzones. Okay.
So this movie again has like a really positive message. Like Sun, I was that weird outcasty goth kid too, and so this movie like speaks to me. This movie has like a really timeless feel. I mean, again, we were saying or remarking how this movie's 30 years old, but it doesn't feel like it. That's because of like the universal message.
It's amazing. I'm almost as old as this film.
Yeah, it's wild.
Crazy.
Okay, all y'all can shut the hell up. Shut the hell up, Wally is right now.
Done.
Insulting your guests.
And like the only reason why, compared to other Tim Burton films, I'm not ready this time to give like my hierarchy, but I do love this film a lot. Like the casting's great. I love all the Danny Elfman shots is amazing. The fatal flaw. Where did they get the ice? That is the fatal flaw.
Come on. All right. Chris, you're ridiculous. That's the only reason it didn't get a 5. All right.
1.5 high rating. Come on.
Good. That's by far, we'll all agree that's by far the best movie we've seen of the 3 so far.
Yes.
Guys,
I can agree to that.
We have a full 12 movies.
Another reason it gets an extra point for me.
Once you go from Creep Show to any movie,
it's gonna be
the bar was not really low.
Just sad.
Jesus Christ. All right.
So without further ado, let's reveal the cover.
Let's reveal. Hold on. I wanted to do this because I have a couple things I want to show. So first things first, we did have. I teased this, Chris. If you remember, I teased this during our virtual stream last week. One of our fans did take a screenshot and posted it on social media.
It was out of excitement. It was out of enthusiasm. So.
He was nice enough to take it down. Thank you, John. If you're here, took it down, but it was a grainy screenshot of the cover, so you might have seen it already. But are we ready? Do we have a drum roll? Anybody want to do a drum roll? Chris. Yeah. I'm just going to keep making you do that for an hour. There it is.
Right here as well.
There's a robot in the back.
Guys, this will be up in the store. This will be up in the store shortly.
No, it should be up right now. It is 7:14.
I think Mark is 7. Mark said he was going to put it up once we reveal it. So hopefully Mark, we didn't bore Mark where he logged off.
I would have liked the movie a lot more had this been the movie.
Yeah, this should be the sequel.
How about if they do a remake with a woman?
And Alan Arkin would have been the creepy, oversexed parent.
Son, you absolutely crushed it on this cover.
Thank you.
Crushed it. You cut it up. It looks amazing.
So
Yeah.
like the Office, like every time you show a new cover, or like the Office comes around, and we all get really flustered. Like, oh, I thought I liked Escape from New York, but this one's even better. It's like it's like the best problem to have.
Thank you.
Lots of comments, lots of love. Son, what? Talk a little. Can you just tell us a little bit about your thought process making this?
Well, I had 3 ideas initially, right? And I just didn't want to keep the movie poster cover. There wasn't much I could do with it, although that was one of the ideas. And then the other one besides this one was like when Edward is like furiously chopping, right? And then having like yeah, and then having one of the trees be in the shape of like a Zenoscope dragon.
Oh,
Ooh.
But this one got picked, and I was really happy because, because I actually really love the cookie factory scene. I think when Vincent Price shows the little robot was actually a prototype, right, for Edward.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he shows up to it and he puts the cookie heart in front of the robot, as if to say, like, I just wish this robot could have a feeling, or like have a son, like one of the two. So I just wanted to kind of have her and the robot kind of together, and sometimes, like a lot of the times we do pinups and there's not really a lot of story behind it. So I wanted to kind of infuse this one with more meaning and just what the actual whole story is about. That's where Eddie's from, and that's where he goes back to the factory.
I love this. This is my
detail is phenomenal.
there's a lot going on in the foreground and the background. Like, I love all the cogwheels and the factory set pieces and set pieces. It's so good.
We posted the link, guys, so you can grab it if you want. By the way.
Oh my god, this is
this is just amazing. Great cover.
Thank you so much.
You're
I had fun. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you so much.
I get paid for this? Wow.
And all our panelists will be getting the cover.
Yes, you
God.
are. We're getting a showcase.
I think I'm actually going to frame this one.
Son, I do have your comps in order, so don't you worry. So, but yeah, this cover, this is part of the Cinderella annual Bloody Xmas cover. This issue is thick. It's just like at least a 60-page, like almost like a triple size book. Like this is
most of our graphic novels right now are, or I should say, most of our books right now are going to be in that format. So we're doing a lot of one-shot storylines in our books. So we're changing the way things are being. We're changing things up. So publishing's. We're adapting, guys, to get our stories all in one comic. So you have instead of 22-page issues, we're doing like 72-page issues now.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
It's almost like Netflix releasing a full season at once. Why wait month to month when you can do a full season in one comic?
And exactly, and the Cinderella story itself, so freaking good. Like I binge read this as soon as it came into the office earlier this week. Really great story. So it's already out, and now you can get Sun's really awesome cover on it. So this one is cover D. This is the 250 print run, so now available in the web store. And the green screen is like blocking out.
Cut it out perfectly.
But this is the Z-rated.
Cut it out.
Cut it out version.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Yeah, she had an accident there.
That's funny. Guys, do you want to know what next month is? Are you guys ready?
Oh my God, son! I legit freaked out when I saw this cover. It's so good.
Oh, thanks.
Do you guys want to know what next month is? Does the audience want to know? Okay. Any guesses? Could we give a hint, Chris?
All right, so it's January, huh?
Oh, hold on.
There's not going to be. I don't think there's any way you're going to get this unless we give you a good hint.
I don't. I feel like that any hint I would give it away automatically. Oh,
Okay, give us
All
a
right,
hint.
I'm gonna show the layouts. So we're gonna tease Sun's layouts.
They're not great.
Your layouts are what I could aspire to dream of drawing ever.
So your layouts like just dwarf everything. It's fine. It's great.
Layouts. Once you see the layouts, you should know.
I'm getting some guesses. Rob thinks it's Fifth Element.
Ooh.
Oh my God! I think someone guessed it. Someone guessed it.
How would they guess it?
I don't know. I don't know, but someone got it.
There's a leak in the Tedesco office. All right, ready? Are you ready for the layouts?
Yeah, boy.
Okay,
How
that was
did
it.
I guess that?
So-
That's
That's all you get.
random.
That was so quick.
That's all you get.
Oh man.
Does anybody know?
No.
Someone said it correctly already.
I don't know. It would take the world of me to guess and get it underneath the time that you need it to be.
Actually, I
I'm
think I
not
do know
sure.
right now.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Ryan
really
did
cannot
give you
wait.
two hints.
Vampires and werewolves.
That's right, Christopher. You were right. You're the first one. It is Underworld. So
It's like
exciting.
A lot of guesses are correct now. Yes, next month is Underworld, people.
Cool.
Someone's going to need to add a 6 to the judging.
And I'm hoping we'll have my friend Kevin Grievous, who you guys might know. Brian, you
he's
might
a co-producer, and he also played Ray's.
He played Ray's. He's doing a book with us this year. He's writing a comic book for us, and he also co-created the movie, the series.
Yeah,
Sweet.
he's one of the 3 founding fathers.
So hopefully he'll be joining us for a little Q&A session at some point during the. He hasn't been able to confirm yet because he has a couple conflicts, but he might be joining us along with the rest of you guys if you guys are all coming back and gracing us with your presence.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Fun.
Presences.
You know, unless I'm getting my vaccine that night, sure.
Hey, even if you did get your vaccine,
By the way, the best time to get your vaccine, if they ask you to schedule it for a Friday, so you have the weekend to recover.
There you go. If you can get your vaccine that quick, I'm going to be jealous.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying this Friday. I'm saying in the months ahead when they ask you what to do it. Do it on a day that you can rest the next day. A lot of people are getting achiness out of it.
Achy. You don't want to be achy, guys.
Nope. But it's better than dead.
Yes.
Correct.
Safety first, everyone. The vaccine is coming out, but you got, COVID.
And it's better than losing your taste and smell for 2 weeks. I'll go on record to tell you that much.
What date are you looking at?
It's going to be same thing. I think we're sticking with third Friday of every month.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be February 19th as of now.
Oh, February?
Not January?
I'm sorry. I say February. I skipped a month for some.
I was going to say, have I been in that long of October? Did I miss
January 15th, I meant to say. Then the next one would be February 19th. Okay,
Yeah.
so January 15th.
And Ralph, we're also doing something the day before, right?
Oh, we are? On the
Yeah.
14th?
January.
Okay, guys, I lied. You're right. So we're gonna do the Winter Wonderland on the 14th, which is a one-day
live stream
virtual stream. So
from 6 to 8 p.m., I believe.
6 to 8 p.m. I guess we could do back-to-back streams.
We could do back-to-back. I mean, no reason why not to.
I in my head I was thinking the 22nd was the 3rd, but it's really the 3rd. The 3rd is the 15th, is the third Friday. To be determined, but most likely we'll stick with third Friday. Most likely it'll go the 15th.
The point is, we're doing it next month. Underworld, get hyped. We will let you know the exact deets, the date and time. But in the meantime, please support Tedesco. Please support Sun again with these amazing covers.
Here's our January Winter Wonderland date.
Hell yeah!
I think that's Sun's artwork on this as well.
That is right.
It looks like Sun.
Indeed.
Look at us. Look how we did that. That is Sun. Do that face again.
No. No.
One more time.
You're gonna have to screenshot it.
I'm sure somebody has. Yeah. So join us on the 14th. Guys, is there anything else you'd like to talk about or tell us about that's coming up in your worlds before we let you go?
My birthday's Sunday.
Oh.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Who is ringing the bell? I need to know.
I think it's Brian. Yeah.
Back in my morning radio zoo days. You're correct, sir. You got 2 tickets to see Squeeze.
And then for everyone in the comments, you can follow Brian here. And he also has a podcast. That
You.
Oh, no.
You Hollerand.
Wow.
There you go. You can follow those there.
Do that, guys. Do that.
Excellent.
Are you having a podcast tonight?
What's that?
Are you having a podcast tonight, Brian?
I know, because I'm going to be on David's Madison's and George Romero Indie Brigade's Christmas stream is tonight.
Ooh.
That starts at 9:00 tonight. Find George Romero's Indie Brigade stream on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube.
Brian's on a lot of stuff, I feel like.
Brian's a Renaissance fan.
I am
Renaissance man.
Indeed.
Krystle, are you twitching tonight?
I am.
You hope so. You got that outfit on.
Yeah. Sorry, don't mind the mess.
How dare you?
Krystle, what Lego builds have you been doing recently?
Christmas, all Christmas theme. I've been doing like a lot of elf builds. We're finishing the elf house tonight. We did a really big Twitch party last week, and I think I've sent out 50 presents to my Twitch family.
Oh,
Awesome.
That I think I paid more for shipping than I did for the presents.
And since today's the season finale of Mandalorian, you already finished the Baby Yoda build, right?
I did. I just posted a finished picture of Grogu on my Instagram when I posted a picture of Stanley and I. He's like hidden in the back. You got to find him.
Very cool. So everyone follow Krystle Starr. Her Twitch live streams are great. She has a really great community, very friendly, very open. So definitely check them out. Sun, everyone can find Sun on at Sun Khamunaki on Instagram, Twitch, Art of Sun Khamunaki on Facebook. Sun, we keep you really busy. We love you for that. And what other projects are you doing?
What other what?
What other projects are you working on?
What other? Oh, I'm working on my Patreon, so I'm doing a lot of cool art on there. So,
what's your Patreon?
Exclusive. What?
What's your Patreon? Should we put it up here?
Yeah, we should definitely put that.
Actually, patreon.com/artofsun. And if you want to support me on there, I do a lot of pinups that I don't normally get to do, I guess, like doing covers. So yeah, just kind of something fun that I do on the side. And if you want to support me, that would be awesome.
Do it.
Awesome. There you go. Art of Sun, patreon.com. Hell yeah.
Marilyn, would you like to promote anything at the moment?
my life is boring. So
listen, that's not true. First of all, I have to say you are a master of putting your face on other people's bodies.
Oh, your Instagram is so great.
Yeah, you need to go to therapy, honey. You're addicted.
It's like
it's
actually an app. It's a reface app, and it's like it's just an obsession that I have with that right now. It's like I crack myself up with that.
I'm shocked you didn't find the opportunity to reface yourself on Winona Ryder to promote tonight.
Yeah, what were you thinking?
Well, if it were on there, I would have.
God damn it, Marilyn.
I'm going to yell at Instagram, yell at Tim Burton. Get it on there.
This is a bunch of crap. We need one goddamn thing, and we can't get it. We can't have everything nice, guys.
Because I jokingly always see your Instagram reface apps. I'm like, I didn't know she was in Gladiator. I didn't know she was in Star Wars. I didn't know she was in...
It's kind of a...
Follow Marilyn. Make sure you follow her. Because she does do... Listen, I enjoy every one of them.
Thank you.
Have a safe flight home this weekend, by the way. Get home safe.
Thank you.
Chris, would you like to promote anything before we let you go?
Besides next month's January Winter Wonderland Virtual Con on the 14th, we will give you an official date on the next movie night cover.
The next movie date, that's my fault. I got confused.
It's okay.
A lot. I apologize.
It's been a long week, but we're happy. We're so thankful that everyone's hanging out here. Thank you for all of our special guests. And here's the graphic for our live stream. So very, very exciting. And again, one last time, these covers are available on sale right on the web store. Also available on the web store, you can subscribe to the subscription showcase program.
Oh, yeah.
So
They come with a mini print.
exactly. So it comes with this showcase style book, which it's printed on this thicker cardstock paper. It grades naturally really high. If you're a collector and you want to submit a CGC,
Yeah, the showcase paper will grade probably
at least like a 9.6. It's crazy.
At least, I mean,
Yeah.
probably at least a 9.8 to be honest with you.
Yeah, and then on the back, like Ralph
Yeah,
said,
guarantee
it comes with a mini art print as well.
Yeah,
I
the
just love how
subscription's
you
well
did
worth
like a horror film almost done. Like it, this cover is just, it's damn good.
it. Damn good.
It's damn good.
Yeah.
I think that's it, guys.
I think that's it.
We'll let you get back to your lives. Thank you all for joining us. And
Thank you.
see you next month.